is Lizzie and I'm from Kingfisher Church in Little Paxton, and welcome to our Christmas bake-along. Today we're going to be making Christmas Crinkle Cookies, which are a bit like a cross between a cookie and a brownie. They're chocolatey and delicious. So let's get started. First things first, you're going to need your ingredients. There's an ingredients list on the website, on our website, if you want to go and check that out. But you're going to need 60 grams of cocoa powder, 200 grams of caster sugar, 60 millilitres of vegetable oil, or I've got some melted margarine. You're going to need 2 large eggs, 180 grams of plain flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 2 oranges, just the zest, so you want to zest it, and 2 teaspoons of mixed spice, and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. You'll also need 50 grams of icing sugar for a bit later on, but not just yet. So, let's go. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is mix your cocoa powder, caster sugar, and oil or melted margarine together in a bowl. So, here's my cocoa powder. It's a bit dusty. Here is my caster sugar. And I've got my oil or melted margarine. You just want to pour it all into the bowl and then mix it all together. It should be kind of sticky. You might have to give it a good mix. Just keep mixing until it starts to come together. Might look a little bit dry, but just keep mixing and it'll form a bit of a ball. So mine is all clumping together now, so that's how you know you've mixed it enough. Looks a bit like that. Okay, now you're going to get your eggs. Whenever you're baking with eggs, it's best to have them at room temperature. If not, it's not a problem. Okay, so you're going to crack your eggs one at a time into the bowl and then mix it really, really hard. So there's egg number 1. You do just want to do it one at a time, because otherwise it gets a bit too liquidy. Doesn't make a very nice noise as you're mixing. Just keep mixing until it starts to get a bit smooth. Okay, so once it's all smoothed out, you want to add your second egg. Be quite gentle. Okay, egg number 2 in the bowl. Give that another good mix. So it should be quite a loose and wet mixture now. It should be quite shiny as well. So just give that a really, really good mix. Until it's really smooth. Okay. Okay, so once your mixture is looking all nice and shiny and smooth like this, you are going to now combine your dry ingredients. So put this bowl to one side for the moment, get another bowl, and we're going to put in our flour, baking powder, orange zest, and our spices. So here is my flour. Just pour that in there. It's a good idea to sieve your flour I sieved mine before. What was next? The baking powder. Here's my baking powder. I think you want a teaspoon of this. If I can get the lid off. Just get a little teaspoon baking powder. Stick that in there. Okay, so now you want to add in your orange zest and your mixed spice and ground cinnamon. You can be quite creative with these. So if you would just like chocolate orange flavoured crinkle cookies, just leave out the mixed spice and the cinnamon. If you want to leave out the orange, you can do that. You could even leave out the cocoa powder from the step before, put in a little bit more flour instead and add ginger and have gingerbread flavoured ones. So yeah, you can be quite creative, add in whatever spices you like. I want to make Christmas crinkle cookies though, so that means the orange zest, the mixed spice and the cinnamon. So you want to zest 2 oranges, so this is the zest. You could put a little bit of lemon zest in as well if you wanted. Get that in there. You want 2 teaspoons of mixed spice. It will come out of the bottle. 1. 2 roughly, and you want 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Okay, so once you've got those in your bowl, you just want to mix them together. This is just so you get all of the flavours evenly distributed before you add it to the wet ingredients. So give them a mix. Perfect. Okay, now you're going to add your dry ingredients into your wet ingredients. So just pour them on top like that. You can add a pinch of salt as well to bring out the flavour. Okay, and then just very carefully mix them all together. Try and keep the flour in the bowl, that's my tip. Oh, not like that. Just got it on my jumper. It'll get a bit tricky to mix as it all gets mixed together, but keep going. It's good for your arm muscles. It smells really nice and Christmassy. You want to keep mixing until a soft cookie dough type dough forms, just like this. If it's looking a little bit wet, like this one is, you might want to put it in the fridge for a bit, just to set a little. But if not, then you're good to go and ready for the next step. Once your dough is nice and firm, mine is still a little bit sticky, but that's all right. It'll probably just mean they're a bit gooier. You are going to want to preheat your oven to 190 degrees or 170 degrees fan or gas mark 5. So I'm going to do that. Okay, and now for the fun part. So you're going to make your dough into little balls. You're going to roll it in your icing sugar and you're going to put it on baking trays. So you'll need 2 baking trays lined with greaseproof paper. So I've got 1 ball started here. So once you've got your ball, you just want to roll it in the icing sugar so that it's nice and coated. It's probably a little bit thick. That's fine. And then you're going to put it on your tray. can be as big as you want. You can weigh them so they're all the same size, or you can just go crazy and make them roughly this size. If you can see, then you're going to roll it in the icing sugar like this and pop it on your tray like that. Okay, mine look absolutely atrocious. The icing sugar does cover how terrible they look, so that doesn't really matter. Quite inconsistent sizes, but it's all fine. We're going to put them in the oven and they will hopefully taste delicious. So once you have balled and icing sugared your cookies, you are going to stick them in the oven for 10 to 12 minutes. I'll put the other tray in a moment. You don't want to overbake them because then they'll be too dry. You want them to still be nice and gooey, but we'll check back in a moment. While your cookies are baking, here is a short video about the Christmas story to watch and a carol for you to enjoy. See you in a bit.
Mary and Joseph were planning a wedding. Then they found out where God's plan was heading. God would send a baby inside of her tummy. Yes, it was true. She would soon be a mummy. A census was ordered. You couldn't say no. To Bethlehem, Mary and Joseph must go. The rooms were all full when they needed a bed, and Jesus was born where the animals fed. Some shepherds were watching their sheep near to town, when suddenly angels appeared all around. Let's go to see him, the shepherds declared, and found him in Bethlehem just like they'd heard. 40 days later, a visit was planned. To go to the temple, the Lord did demand. Anna and Simeon saw Jesus and knew that he would bring hope to the world when he grew. When more time had passed, some wise men stopped by. They'd followed a star they had seen in the sky. We don't know how many wise men were there, but 3 gifts they brought: gold, frankincense, myrrh. Herod was angry, a new king was born, and God sent an angel to Joseph to warn that they must go quickly to Egypt to hide, and so there they stayed until Herod had died. The amazing story of Christmas doesn't stop there. It was just the beginning. Just like at the first Christmas, God wants everyone, rich or poor, to hear about his wonderful Son, Jesus, and to worship him. We may not have gold, frankincense, or myrrh to bring to him, but we can give him our hearts and lives today.
Sing glory to the newborn King, peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinners reconciled. Joyful all ye nations rise, join the triumph of the skies, with angelic host proclaim, Christ is born in Bethlehem. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Christ Christ by highest heaven adored, Christ the everlasting Lord. Late in time, behold him come, offspring of a virgin's womb. Veiled in flesh, the Godhead see, hailed incarnate deity, pleased as man with man to dwell. Jesus our Emmanuel. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Hail the hand-born Prince of Peace, hail the Son of Righteousness, light and life to all he brings, risen with healing in his wings. Mighty lays his glory by, born that man no more may die, born to raise the sons of earth, born to give them second birth. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Mighty lays his glory by, born that man no more may die, born to raise the sons of earth, born to give them second birth. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King.
So here you go, your finished Christmas crinkle cookies. I took them out of the oven when they were still kind of not quite firm, still a little bit soft, because you want them really nice and gooey. But yeah, I'm very happy with mine. I think they look great, to be honest. I'm very excited to eat them. You can see they're all cracked, so they look like they've been lightly dusted with a bit of snow. Yeah, thank you so much for baking along with me. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy eating your cookies. I'm going to enjoy mine. Have a very happy Christmas.